So when you deal with a narcissist, when they start beating themselves up, you start to feel guilty for bringing this stuff up to begin with. And then they'll get you to apologize. So people that have this characteristic, they are masters at manipulation. Where does all of this stem from? All of this is ujb, conceitedness, leads to arrogance. What's the difference between conceitedness and arrogance? Every arrogance has conceitedness, but not every conceitedness has arrogance. What do we mean by that? Ujb, being conceited, thinking highly of yourself, is possible if you're on an island living by yourself. It doesn't require anyone else because you think you're just so great. Whereas Kibr is when it's directed towards other things and other people. You think that you are better now because you think you're so great. You're putting others down. You're putting other things down. That's arrogance. Arrogance, Kibr, is conceitedness and more. But there's another quality, and that is narcissism. Narcissism is even more broad than Kibr. Because every narcissist is an arrogant person, but not everyone who has Kibr is a narcissist. Narcissism is diagnosed as a problem. It's when someone thinks highly of himself, there's ujb. It's when somebody puts others down, so there's Kibr. But not only is it just these two things, but it's a version of these two things that's so sick and twisted. Someone has so much ujb that he thinks that he can't make any mistake. What is the underlying reason why people are narcissists? Is because they think so highly of themselves that they don't even entertain the possibility of doing wrong, and because of that they have no accountability. Some of us may deal with narcissists in our lives. Some of us might be dealing with our spouse. Some of us might be dealing with a friend that has these qualities. It might be your coworker. It might be your boss. And you bring up something wrong that they did. What's their strategy? The first strategy is to deny it. And they make you think that you're crazy. I never said this. I never did that. In the company group chat, you said this. What do you mean? Like, why are you denying it now? So this strategy only takes them so far. But some people are just so sick in the mind with narcissism that, you know what, they'll keep peddling this strategy. A narcissist will try to preserve their self-image. And if they see themselves getting called out, they're gonna move to step number 2. They'll start playing the victim card, acting like they are the victim, like you're still doing something wrong. You're right, but how could you be so cruel? When they start beating themselves up, you start to feel guilty for bringing this stuff up to begin with. And then they'll get you to apologize. So people that have this characteristic, they are masters at manipulation. Where does all of this stem from? All of this is Kibr. Why? Because all of this stems from someone not holding themselves accountable. They're rejecting the truth. You're confronting them with something that they did that's true, and they are rejecting that truth. This is Kibr. What's the cure for this kind of arrogance, this narcissism? Number 1, it's realizing that it's something dangerous. Some of us might not think it's a big deal, but it is Kibr. It is the Kibr for which the Prophet ﷺ will say that whoever has the smallest amount of will not enter paradise. That's what this is. This is Kibr. Some of us think, oh, this is just my personality. Well, maybe your personality is one of a mustakbir, arrogant person. And some of us were like, well, you know what, that's just how I am. You've acknowledged that you have this characteristic and you don't want to change. Not every characteristic you have is a good one. Number 2 is to identify it with yourself. Maybe some of us are sitting and thinking like, oh, I know somebody like this, but maybe it's you. Maybe it's me. That's the problem, is that a narcissistic person won't think it's themselves. It's someone else, it's someone else, it's other people, it's my spouse, it's my friend, it's whatever. Number 3 is to identify its cause. Why do people develop this kind of characteristic? Maybe because they've been bullied so much as a kid, and because of that, they kind of develop a defense mechanism where they are so fragile and insecure, they can't deal with accountability. Maybe it's someone who develops this characteristic because growing up, their parents praised them so much, never corrected their flaws, and they just grew up thinking they're the best person in the world, and they lose empathy for others, and that's how you have this narcissistic behavior. And then last but not least is to be self-aware. If you have this characteristic, you got to be self-aware. You have to acknowledge when it's happening. Because nowadays we live in a time where we like to show AI edited photos of ourselves on social media. We're so obsessed with the image that we put out online, and that sometimes deludes us and tells us who we are, and we don't look within. This is purifying the soul. This is what we mean, is you got to look within yourself and be real with yourself. And of course, seek Allah Azza wa Jall's help and guidance. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to purify our hearts.